Hello and welcome to the Organized Business. Congratulations in making this investment. And I hope that it brings you as much organizational peace as it has brought me. So once you duplicate the template, this is what you're going to be faced with. Now, right here, if I toggled in here, you're going to see the video that you're watching right now. So you can just, once you finish watching this tour and you feel comfortable with the layout, you can just delete that or archive this whole area just by clicking right here, and then you can delete that whole block. Use this area to remind yourself of something that you need to stay focused on in the moment, or maybe your company's mission or vision. I like to keep my vision up here because it just reminds me of why I'm doing what I'm doing. The next toggle down is your to-do. So you have a few different views here. Obviously, there's nothing in here because it's a template, but what you have is anything coming up this week, just today, and if there was more tasks, they would be listed there, or by project that you're working on. So you have those various views, and I made this intentionally so that every day when you sit down to start working in your business, you can come directly to your dashboard page to start your day. So now you've got the three pillars of work. So the first piece is operations, marketing, and then your work. And I'll walk through each one of them individually. Under operations, I recommend that you start here, especially if you're new to business or you have an existing business, but maybe some bits and pieces are missing or they're in different places. You want to get everything in here under the same roof. And if you don't like the way that I've structured things, the beautiful thing about Notion is that it's like Play-Doh. You can change whatever you want. So if you go under mission, vision, and values, write down the reason why your company exists. And I give you the example of mine, the vision for your company, and your guiding principles and values if you have them. This is always just something to have as reference. It's an important piece of your business and driving your business in a specific direction. The next thing you're going to want to have is a goal tracker. So what do you want for your business in the next quarter, 6-month, year? I've got some examples here. I've got a 40% email open rate, which is a worthy goal, a subscriber number, or maybe an income number. And if you click into any one of these, you'll see that you have the target completion goal, which for in this case would be 10,000 if your goal was 10,000 a month. And what you're currently making would go in here, and that is going to show you your progress towards this goal. And then there's a few questions down here that will help you shape your objectives. And this piece here in the table format is the exact same as in the card format. It's just two different views depending on how you like to see things. You can very easily delete one or both of the views just by clicking on that. And then, of course, if you ever delete something and you want to bring it back, you go up to this top corner up here where these three dots are. You just click the undo and everything comes back. And there's also page history if you want to go back to a few clicks ago. So you can't break anything. That's an important thing to know. Next along here, we've got, once you've got your business goals outlined, you want to create projects that will align to those business goals. So this is just an instructional project that will show you how to use this tool. But basically, with your projects, you would pick something that is going to help you get to a better goal. So maybe if your goal was a 40% open rate on your emails, this project could be revamping your email system or changing up your email headers in order to improve your click-through rate. But important here is to know that you don't want too many projects at any given time unless you have a big team. Coming back here, every time you want to come back to the main dashboard, you just click the Organized Business. The next thing down are tasks. And the beauty of this task system is that you can organize it by project, you can organize it by just your tasks, or organize it by the people on your team if you have a team. And if you don't have a team yet, you might soon enough because this process is going to help you scale. The next area is tools and tech. And this is basically a database of all of the various different SaaS softwares that you potentially use. I listed all mine in here just as an example, and these are links, they're affiliate links to each of these softwares that I use. So feel free to use them if you want. If you don't want to, that's totally fine too. But you want to put in a link to the site, the cost, the frequency of charge, your password and username, when your subscription renews in case you don't want to renew it, and any SOP that is aligned to that software. So for example, if your SOP, which stands for Standard Operating Procedure, it's just a process for everything you do in your business. So for example, editing long form video is one process in my business, and it is affiliated to my Descript software, which, by the way, if you're going to do podcasts or uh, videos, long form videos, even short form videos, Descript is an amazing tool. Coming back here, that's just a database for you to track. The next piece here is your finances, and this is really important. So you want to track the finances in your business. And the way I've set this up is that every quarter you would create your Q1 goal, Q2 goal, Q3 goal. So this is your projection, and then these are your actuals. So January actuals will go in here, February, March, etc. And you're going to list your different revenue streams. So for me, it would be one-on-one coaching, group coaching, digital products, courses, etc. Speaking of products and courses, the next database down here is your offers and products. So for every product you have, which could be a service or a tangible product or a digital product, you want to be able to have like a home for each of them. So for example, with this example product here, we've got product one, the link to the product site, sales page, the price of it. If it's a live product or service, then whatever dates that is going to be live and whatever promotional dates that you're going to put ahead of that will go here. How many units sold, you want to track that as well. And then if you are in the process of building out a new product, these questions will just help you think through the process so that you have a clear idea of what it is you're doing, what success looks like. So at the end of it, you know when done is done. The last two here, this is team. Now, again, you may not have a team yet, but if you were thinking about how you would build out a team, this is a great structure for that. So if you have an idea for a dream VA, then use this template to actually build out what her responsibilities would be. Once she is actually in an existence, she would take over this page, put her picture in here. She maybe put a bio in here if you start to build even more team members, what her superpower skills are. And then actually, you'll also see that there is the SOP database is also in here so that each team member can actually start to build out their own SOPs so that if they ever leave, somebody else can come right into this role, take over this page and start tracking their workflow through the existing SOP. So that just keeps like team building incredibly seamless. And you might not want a big, huge team, but you may want to have occasional VAs or seasonal help. And just think about this whole database area as a collection of job responsibilities that you at some point may want to outsource. And you're thinking about it ahead of time so that by the time you hit your breaking point and need help, you already have the roles broken out in each of these different categories. And then this is just me right here. You can ignore that one or delete it. But every time you want to start a new role, you would just go down to the new role template and it would automatically populate all of this for you. The picture area, which we just replaced, the bio, responsibilities that you would just want to replace those, and then the SOP database down here. So everything in this template is done for you. And then finally, you've seen this a few times now, this is the main SOP database where you're going to start documenting all of the processes in your company so that as you grow and get busier, you can start to outsource these things and it will be really easy for somebody to pick up where you left off. That is everything under operations. Under marketing, I'm going to start down here and go from the least complicated to the most robust, I should say, not complicated. If you use sponsors in your business, this is a simple CRM form. So let's say I was doing a YouTube video and Notion was going to sponsor it, which would be so lovely. I would put my sponsor name here, Notion, who I'm contacting or in contact with at Notion, their email address, the status of the sponsorship negotiation, any notes, the rate that I quoted them, and then within within each file, I would actually put the work that I did for them in there so that I can always go back to that if I ever want to pitch that sponsor again. The next one is affiliate links. Most online businesses do have some affiliate links, either for their own products or for the products that they use. Then you would want to keep track of them here because there's always going to be that need for you to add an affiliate link to a blog post or a YouTube description, and you never know where they are, or at least that was my situation, until I created a database of them. The next one up, This is a fun one. All of your brand and marketing assets in one place. So your logo, podcast art, opt-ins. This is a really important one. All the PDFs that you exchange emails for. If you're a coach, there is a copy of the ICF standard coaching agreement here, which is basically a template where you can build off of to create your own coaching template. The themes here, maybe if you have a WordPress theme, you can store it here. Any B-roll, if you do YouTube videos or short form videos, your different fonts, you want to keep them in here, and your brand colors. You would actually want to put the brand color in the header here, not just use this placeholder color. But these are all good things to have, especially if you have other team members or you can share it with the designer. And then links to things in Canva. I can't tell you how many things that I've recreated in Canva because I can never find them again. But if you just had like a list of, here's my Pinterest template, here's my Instagram post template, here's a reel template, and you just clicked right through to them in Canva, that would just make everything so much easier. And then down here, I just have a fun mood board so you can collect images in your business that just illustrate the vibe of your business and what you're going for. So if you're ever going to engage a designer, you've already got a mood board started for that person to run with. Coming back to your main dashboard, like I said, everything is a click away with this dashboard. You've got a customer avatar area, and these are just a bunch of different questions that I invite you to walk through and answer each of these to really get in the head of your ideal customer. So this is obviously somebody who's made up, but you want to be very clear on who that customer is so that every piece of content and messaging and every product you create is designed for this person. So these are just different toggles that you can use. And then down here, there's just some questions, psychographic questions that you can answer for yourself. And I love this question. What feedback or testimonial would be a dream piece of feedback from this ideal client of yours? So if you are ever going to engage a copywriter, this would be a great thing that you could just shoot to them because you've already got it made. The next piece is customer insights. Now, this is a database that I use for myself as well, and it just collects all of the pain points that my customers have. And I get those pain points either through comments on Instagram and Facebook or on YouTube, or when somebody reaches out to me to inquire about coaching, they usually tell me up front what they're struggling with. Or sometimes I go into Amazon and I look at book reviews and I see what people are writing about this book helped me do this, this, and this, obviously related to my industry. But you can use those same formats for yours and put them all in here. And again, that will help you inform your messaging and your copy and the products that you make. And just having all of these things neatly organized here is going to make such a big difference. You can also use this to track your testimonials in your business, which you should always be looking for. And then last but not least, the content planner. I love this. So 2 quick things here. What I would recommend you doing is taking all of your social media links. So for example, if you're on Facebook, this would be http / whatever, facebook.com, and then whatever your particular username is. When you have them all clicked here, then you can just jump right to those websites whenever you're working in the planner when you need to. Over here is just like a little sticky note area where you can write notes if you want to. And if you don't want to, you can just ignore that or put something else in that place. Down here, this is the same database in 3 different views. So you can look at your content by pillar or topic, and I usually recommend that you have at least 4 to 6 different pillars. So this is different than your ideal customer. So for example, when we're talking about the broader term of niche, my niche is ADHD, lifestyle, and business. My ideal customer is an ADHD woman who is either a professional or is starting a business and needs support to build her business in an organized and sustainable way. So my different pillars and topics are entrepreneurship, organization, wellness, productivity. So those are my content pillars. So as I'm making new pieces of content, I will assign each piece of content a content pillar so that I can see, am I balancing out my topics across all of my content pillars? Now, that same piece of content, you'll see down here in a different context, being the content in progress. Where is this sample piece of content in my process so far? Not started could be just like your idea list, drafted, produced, edited, posted. This little piece will just move along here in a Kanban board style until it becomes complete. And then down here, you'll see that same template on your calendar so you know exactly when it's going to be posted. So if I open this sample template, what you'll see here is how I've spelt piece wrong. But you'll see you can tag who's responsible for this, whether it's you or somebody on your team, date to be published, its status, the content pillar again, any keywords that you are aligning it to, your YouTube thumbnail and URL once it's posted, a link to the podcast if that's what you have, or a blog post, link and title. So I have crafted this for all of the various different mediums. I usually personally don't use Notion to plan short form content like tweets or Instagram stuff. I just do that ad hoc because those are not my main platforms. I go into lengthy planning detail when it comes to podcasts and YouTube because that's what's most important to me. So down here, when you're thinking about each piece of content that you're going to roll out, what is the pain point that you're commenting on? What is the solution that you're providing? What kind of B-roll are you going to use if it is a video? You can put your script in here. You can put title ideas here, thumbnails if it's a YouTube video here, and any other files that might be going along with this piece of content here. I highly recommend that you keep these files for all of your long form content because then you have it, the entire script ready. If you want to go back and use it for something else, you can take what used to be a YouTube video and turn it into a podcast or turn it into an Instagram reel or give it to a VA to do that. And you have everything all done right here. So that is the content planner. And it's just laid out in different ways depending on how you like to visually understand information. So coming back to the main dashboard, the two last things I want to show you here. Offers and products, I showed you that already. Remember the product 1 and product 2? This is just its own little storage place for it. And then one other thing that I've included here, I got this from a different template and I reorganized it so that it was more ADHD friendly. But it's just basically a template for either mapping out a course if that is your field of expertise, or if you wanted to, you could host a course on Notion. Personally, I use Thrivecart for my course hosting, but you could absolutely do it here. And if you want something that's low tech, I recommend Teachable. So that is the dashboard in a nutshell. You've already seen all of these. These are just quick links to your revenue tracker. If you always want to keep that open, it's just right there. Or if you always wanted to keep your business objectives top of mind, you could keep this open all the time. Or if you wanted to keep your products and offerings open all the time because you're currently working on a product, it's right there. Or you could archive those or put them away and never see them again. I just like having them there because they're really important trackers. And then down here's your content database again, right? So that is the organized business. I hope that you enjoy this template and I hope it brings you the same level of business peace that it has given to me. If you have any questions, let me know and enjoy. Have a good time with this.